Good morning, and thank you very much for inviting me to speak to you today. You're my very first official speaking engagement since the Prime Minister asked me to take on this job 3.5 weeks ago, so I'm very sorry not to be talking to you in person. Today I'd like to spend a few minutes talking about how higher education can play a major role in the government's central mission to level up the country, to harness the potential and talent of every town, county and community. Because for me, levelling up starts with skilling up. You don't need me to tell you that we've been living through an incredibly challenging time. Challenging for families, communities, businesses, and challenging too for education providers across the board. I know how tough it has been to keep the show on the road, yet keep the show on the road you did. Despite everything that higher education was faced with during the darkest days of the pandemic, the great conveyor belt of essential workers did not stop whirring. People kept graduating, graduates kept moving into the jobs we needed them to do. The new nurses, the new healthcare workers, and their colleagues in other key professions kept on coming. You and your staff protected education, and this autumn, despite everything, you welcomed more than 100,000 new students. So before I go further, I want to thank you all for all that you have done. And I also want to express my gratitude for the constructive way in which independent HE has engaged with the government since the pandemic began. Please know, my door is always open. I know we can work together closely to advance the higher education sector. And I appreciate your frank views. Whilst I know we will challenge each other, I will champion what you do, because together we can make a real difference to millions of lives. What I want to turn to today is how we can make that a reality. I know what higher education is capable of. I was lucky enough to work in it for 5 years. It has a huge transformative potential, helping people write the next chapters in their stories. And I also know that many IHE members share my passion about how we can support social mobility and reach disadvantaged students by working in new ways. Just this September, Teddy London, a new provider for engineers founded by Arizona State University, King's College London, and UNSW Sydney, welcomed their founding cohort of students. With a focus on inclusivity, on welcoming more women into the sector, and with its emphasis on real-life industry experience, I very much look forward to seeing a new generation of job-ready graduates emerge from Teddy and other innovative providers. And as Teddy knows, access to education needs to offer students real prospects for their future. To be candid, higher education courses must give students the knowledge, skills and opportunities that they have studied for and paid for. Every single student deserves a high quality academic experience, one that gives them the support to undertake their studies and which enables them to progress into high quality employment or further study. The vast majority of the time this happens, but sometimes it does not. You already know that there are too many employers complaining that vocational courses do not adequately prepare people for the workplace of the future. And we have severe systemic skills shortages in key industries. We're short of skilled engineers, IT experts, and construction workers. And we cannot let these shortages continue. This is why I want the sector to follow your lead and champion high quality, high level technical education. Because there's no good reason why people in this decade should believe that an academic route is somehow better than a technical route. That is what the government's Skills for Jobs white paper set out. It is what our skills bill will take forward, and it is what our reforms will do. In further education, we are in the process of building a much more responsive system, one that captures what local business needs and will need, and uses it to help providers decide which courses they will offer and students to decide which courses they will take. For those who've left formal education without achieving the equivalent of an A-level, our Level 3 offer is now creating the opportunity to go and get that bonus qualification, a major gateway to better employment. And many of you will also be well aware of our lifelong loan entitlement, a part of the lifetime skills guarantee. This will provide every student a flexible lifelong loan entitlement to the equivalent of 4 years of post-18 education, available for both modules and full years of study, whether in their local college or in a university. All this will have a major impact on post-18 study, allowing people to learn the skills that will get them jobs in the sectors where those skills are needed. There will be a focus on flexibility to allow people to train and learn when it suits them, and I know IHE members are already offering short courses with this in mind. And it will have a focus on local partnerships. One of the most important things that higher and further education institutions can do in their local areas is to work with schools and colleges. It goes beyond that too, because while much is already being done, there's much more that we can do. I want you to engage with businesses in your area and your specialisms, because we need to be giving students the skills that employers of the future need. Take the Dyson Institute of Engineering and Technology, which works closely with leading industry firms and gives students wide-ranging and real-time engineering projects in cutting-edge technology. These highly qualified students will be able to apply for high-paid, rewarding jobs as demand for skills rises across the country and their regions. And that is how we can truly level up across the country, supporting local people, local economies, and local communities. All of this greases the axles of growth and productivity. All of it expands opportunity. And as we know, this is worth cold hard cash, because UK revenue from education-related exports was valued at £23.3 billion to the economy in 2018. And our commitment to sustainably recruiting more international students through the International Education Strategy, with an ambition to reach 600,000 by 2030, will mean this figure keeps rising. That strategy, published last year, sets out ambitions to sustainably increase the value of education exports to 35 billion by 2030. Already the overall number of international students enrolled at UK higher education providers increased by 12% from 496,000 in 2018-19 to 557,000 in 1920. With your help, we'll reach our ambition, helping to preserve our status as one of the world leaders in higher education. As we overcome the pandemic, my clear message to any international students is this: we want you to come, we will make it easy for you to do so, and we will support you while you are here. None of this will come about overnight. We are talking about wholesale change across our system. But this change will not happen unless we make it happen together. Together, we can lay down concrete improvements that can steer our sector towards a sustainable future. Together, we can make lasting changes that gear people toward higher paid, rewarding jobs that they and the economy want and deserve. I know that together, we can make this a reality. Thank you for listening.